Hello again, this is Mr. B, still flapping his gums about IB English Language and Literature and the individual oral. This is the third video in the series, and this one is built on the premise that after watching the previous video, you have chosen a global issue that unites the two texts that you've studied, and that you have thought about specific moments in each one of those texts that unite them around that global issue. So these next two slides that I'm going to talk you through are going to help you to know exactly what you need to prepare. Now, I must tell you now that the preparation stage is absolutely vital and it must not be rushed. It is really, really important that you take your time. You can afford to spend a good couple of months preparing all of the information that's required that you will see on this slide and the one that follows. And it is really, really important, because the IB allows it and encourages it, that at each stage of the preparation you are asking for regular feedback from your teacher about your progress to date, so that you don't end up going off on a tangent and wasting a lot of time and having to go back and redo a load of work. As I say, the IB actively encourages teachers to help their students with this preparation stage, to make sure that they are ready to do a great job in that individual oral, because they're not trying to catch you out, they want to reward you for what you can do. So, the first step of your preparation, having chosen a global issue that unites the two texts that you are studying, and my class are studying 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini and Embroideries by Marjan Satrapi. Once you've chosen your uniting global issue and you've specified precisely how the global issue is presented in the moments that you've chosen from each text, you need to make sure that you feel not only confident that you can talk about those particular moments in detail, but you need to make sure that you can show that you are knowledgeable about those extracts, that you're knowledgeable about the global issue that you've chosen itself, and that you are interested enough to make sure that you can be motivated to complete the preparation. Once you are completely satisfied that you are confident, knowledgeable and interested enough to proceed, you can move on to step 2. Step 2 involves going to the long text that you've studied. In our case, it's 1,000 Splendid Suns, and choosing a 40-line extract that is the best example from that text to illustrate that global issue. Now, the IB are very specific that it's a 40-line extract. Don't go too much under, don't go too much over. You've got a couple of lines leeway either side of that 40-line limit. You will find that when you come to do your presentation, if you've got more than 40 lines, that you won't be able to talk about them and the other extract within the 10 minutes that you've got for the presentation. So 40 lines is what you're aiming for. When you think you've chosen the best bit of 1,000 Splendid Suns to be able to talk about, to illustrate the global issue, you need to do a second check on it, and you need to make sure that it is linguistically rich. In other words, that there are going to be plenty of things that you can talk about accurately and using the correct terminology to be able to analyse the linguistic features of that extract that you've chosen. You also have learned lots about literary theory and literary criticism, and what you want to check is that the 40-line extract that you've chosen has got the potential for you to be able to use your understanding of those theories and that criticism to provide you with extra layers of analysis. Now, there is no requirement on the mark scheme for you to make references to literary theory or to literary criticism. However, Criterion B is all about your ability to analyse text in detail, and if you do feel confident and if you've chosen an extract that lends itself to being analysed using literary theory or literary criticism, then please go ahead and do so. Once you've chosen your extract from the long text, from 1,000 Splendid Suns, you then go to your shorter text. If you've chosen, if you are not studying with me and you've chosen an article, for example, you'd need to be able to look at 40 lines from that article. For my students, you'll be needing to choose an extract from Embroideries. Now, because that is a graphic memoir, it's presented in cartoon form, you need to choose approximately 6 pages of Embroideries. That's 6 individual panels within the whole graphic memoir. And you need to make sure that, similarly to 1,000 Splendid Suns, that the extract you've chosen not only focuses on your global issue, but that it also contains visual features that you are going to be able to talk about. In other words, that you're going to be able to confidently talk about how it's been drawn, why it's been drawn that way, and the effect that that is designed to then have on the reader. Again, you may well at that stage want to think about, is there going to be a productive way I can make a reference to literary theory or literary criticism to back up what I'm saying here, to provide me with extra layers of detail in my analysis, but there is no obligation for you to do so. So, you choose a global issue. You then choose the perfect extract from 1,000 Splendid Suns and the perfect extract from Embroideries, and then you are good to move on to the next stage of preparation. So, the next thing that you need to do with your 2 chosen extracts, and my top tip for you would be photocopy or scan your extract from Embroideries so that you can scribble notes onto it. And photocopy or scan the pages that you are going to use for your extract from 1,000 Splendid Suns. Or what I did was I typed them out with the line numbers and the line spacing exactly as it was in the copy of the text that I was using, and then print that out so that you can scribble notes on that as well. Because stage 4 of your preparation is about you starting to put a close reading analysis in the form of notes on those 2 extracts you've chosen onto copies of those extracts. Now, you might want to use highlighters of different colours to connect ideas that are similar on both extracts. You might want to put handwritten notes on. You might want to put numbers on to link up points that go together from each of the different extracts. You can be as creative as you like around how you do your notes at this stage. The thing for you to remember is that you are not allowed to take the annotated copies of your chosen extract into the individual oral with you. You're only allowed to have a blank copy in there with you. So whatever notes you put on and however you present them, they are there for you to practice with, so that you are able to be confident when you do it with the plain unannotated versions during the actual assessment. Stage 5 is what you then move on to when you have completed doing that detailed analysis of each extract you've chosen. The other thing, apart from the plain unannotated copies of the 2 extracts that you are allowed in the assessment with you, is a single page of A4 bullet pointed, maximum of 10 bullet points, list of the ideas that you want to work through and present, and it's there to give you a guide to jog your memory during the actual assessment itself. Those 10 bullet points are not allowed to be in full sentences, they can only be in note form, and the IB will be checking them, because when your teacher uploads your coursework to IBIS, which is the IB's online platform for uploading coursework, they will have to upload PDF versions of each of the extracts you've used, an audio recording file of your actual assessment start to finish, and a PDF of your 10-point bullet point list. By the time you do the assessment, you will have been given a specific form from the IB on which to record your 10 bullet points. But for the time being, you can go ahead and do that on a Word document or a Google Doc just while you are getting ready and rehearsing for that final assessment. The last stage of preparation for the individual oral is probably one of the most important, and that is practice, practice, practice. Now, you are probably bored of hearing teachers telling you that practice is what makes it perfect in an exam, but it is absolutely true in this. The crucial thing you've got to practice is getting through all of the material that you've prepared within the 10 minutes. In an upcoming video, when you will hear my attempt at doing this individual oral, you will hear that I struggled to contain it all within 10 minutes, and I actually went over my 10 minutes allotted time for my presentation. So that's why practice is really important, is to make sure that you are rehearsing, getting it all packed in inside the 10 minutes, and making sure that you are going at a good speed, that you're speaking clearly, that your language is accurate. Think about criterion D for that one, and making sure that you are using the correct terminology in your analysis so that you hit criterion B. So the next video that you'll be able to watch, I will take you through how I prepared when I had a go at doing the individual oral, so that you can see what my preparation materials look like and how I did my annotation, and hopefully that will inspire you to do the same as you prepare for yours. So see you in the next video.